Hi, this is Lucky Robin, and I am making Italian meatballs. I am on my second batch, so I'm going to have a total of 70 meatballs, but the batch I'm showing you makes 35. 70 meatballs breaks down to 5 bags of 14 meatballs each, which is what my family eats. The guys usually have 4 meatballs and the girls usually have 3. So that works out. Alright, I have pre-mixed my meat, which is 1 pound of chicken, 1 pound of lamb, 1 pound of beef, and 1 pound of pork. All of these except for the beef are from our meats that we have purchased, half a hog, a whole lamb, half a beef in the past, and we're getting down towards the end of it. I'm wanting to get it used up before we purchase another half a beef, so I don't have some old stuff kicking around in the fridge. So I just pre-mixed those 4 meats up so I could kind of see what I had, and that everything was actually mixed pretty good before I add all the other ingredients and can't see what I'm doing. So I need 1.5 cups of breadcrumbs. If you don't have breadcrumbs, you can do what I did and just make 6 pieces of toast, and then run them through your food processor, and then you can put half in each batch you make, and that's 3 cups total, 1.5 in each batch. So next I'm going to add, there are 2 teaspoons of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper, 2 teaspoons of basil, 2 teaspoons of oregano, and 2 teaspoons of parsley in here. I'm going to sprinkle that around. Next, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of minced garlic and 1 cup of minced onions. This is not being cooked ahead of time, because I am going to be making these in the Instant Pot when I make them, so it will get cooked that way. I just don't really want to take the time. This is as quick a process as I can make it. Alright, next up we need 1/2 cup of Romano, and 1/2 cup of Parmesan. And this Parmesan is Grana, and it has a really good smell. Sometimes Parmesan will smell kind of like feet, but this one doesn't. It's extra long aged. Parmesan's already long aged as it is. Alright, and now I've got 4 beaten eggs, and these are pasture raised eggs, so they are a little bit brighter and more towards the orange than the yellow on the yolks. Alright, that's everything I need, so I'm just going to get my hands in here and mix everything up. It won't take long at all. Alright, now I'm in a cooking for the freezer phase, although these won't actually be cooked. These will go in frozen and raw into the Instant Pot to make either spaghetti or penne pasta. They cook in the amount of time it takes, and they cook all the way through in the amount of time it takes to make the pasta. Alright, and now we just roll our balls to about 2 inches. I'll get back to you when I have finished doing the whole pan for the freezer. Alright, the meatballs are done and ready to be popped into the freezer, although I will be taking 14 of these to make for dinner tonight. Okay, so for dinner tonight I'm making spaghetti with meatballs in the Instant Pot. I'm starting by putting 1 quart of tomatoes in the bottom of the Instant Pot with its juices, and I've already sprayed the sides down and everything. I have all 14 meatballs in the bottom of the Instant Pot, and I couldn't fit another one in a single layer. The reason I put this in the tomato juice is so that the meatballs don't scorch against the bottom. Sometimes I've found some scorching in the bottom of the Instant Pot if I don't put the layer of tomatoes down first. Now, you could brown these if you wanted to. I don't brown them. They cook all the way through. I've tested them with a meat thermometer, so there's no need. And that rings true also when they're frozen. So next step is to add the pasta. Alright, I decided to make rotini instead of spaghetti tonight. So in goes a whole 1 pound box. Now I like to mix and match sauces, so we're going to be using 1 jar of the 4 cheese Classico pasta sauce, and then 1 jar of the fire roasted tomato garlic pasta sauce from Classico. Okay, and now I need to get some water to rinse out the jars and add to the pot. Alright, so I got my water in, I've got my lid on. I'm just going to give this a good shake up. And that gets all of the sauce off the sides and off the lid. Alright, so we're going to hit manual. And let's see, 14 minutes for rotini. If you want it more al dente, you can do it for 12. 12 is long enough to cook the meatballs, but I prefer my pasta to not be al dente. And there we go. This is done, so I'm going to release the pressure. Alright, this is done releasing the pressure. I'm going to open it away, let all the steam out. Give it a good stir. Bring the meatballs up from the bottom. Alright, let's give this a taste test. This is a new meatball recipe for me. So make sure I got some meatball on there. And that's really good. It's not dried out at all. I sometimes get them really dried out, I think, when I try to make the low carb ones. These are not low carb ones because they have breadcrumbs, but they're incredibly flavorful. So, although I think it might need just a touch more salt. But other than that, it's turned out really well. I'm really happy with it, and I'm glad I have 4 packages of it in the freezer. Right, so I got my 4 bags all done up and ready to go in the freezer. 14 meatballs in each, 4 meals for the family, plus 5 because we had the other batch for dinner tonight.